First of all, thank you very much for the overwhelming response. And as we keep on mentioning in the group, that this session is all about the attendees, and we would like to tailor the programs according to your educational needs. And this is at no cost to you. Our trainers are going to share their lifetime experiences with you. And if you have got questions, we welcome those at the end of the session. So that's how the format of this program will be. In this one, as you see, although we started the program with the accounting for non-finance professionals, but then looking at the experience and the people joining in the group, we have defined a roadmap also, which we will come to that point in the next slide. My introduction, my name is Arvind Pal Singh, and I'm living in Winnipeg, Canada right now. And I have got I mainly IT experience, information technology side, and I have worked in different countries in various roles. I have written a book on money of the future. If you see here, that understanding cryptocurrencies. And already I'm working on another 2 projects for blockchain use cases and project management. So that's in short about myself. And when I requested our trainer, Mrs. Jyotsna Rajpal, she's a CMA, cost and management accountant. So basically we want to impart the knowledge to give you some tools or tips about the profession here. And this is our trainer's profile, which I'll just briefly go through before I hand over the session to her. CMA Jyotsna Rajpal, she's living in Maharashtra, India, and more than 30 years of industry experience. By education, she has got M.Com, M.Phil, and a lot of other roles which you see here. But instead of me telling all these things, I guess I will hand over the session to Mrs. Rajpal, so you can continue, please. And I request all the audience to mute your speakers so that we don't hear any unnecessary noise. Thank you so much. All over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Arvind.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much for introducing me. And I welcome all the participants. Good morning, everyone, those who are attending from India. And good evening to all the people who are attending from abroad. So we are here. So we can start our things right now. Will you please share the next slide? Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. Now, first of all, I think everyone must be having this question that why we are offering this free training. The answer is that I belong to a family where all the technocrats are there. I'm the only person who is from the finance background. So I always realized and I always felt the pain a non-finance professional feels when it comes to the sharing of financial aspects, or when it comes to the deciding about some financial aspects. So I always wanted that if I get the opportunity to share with someone like to whom I can tell that being technocrat, also you can manage your finances, you can manage your accounts very well. So that was the beginning thought for this program. And then I shared with Mr. Arvind to this thought, and today we have this session over here. So it is just to empower all you people who are who see accounts as a very big enemy. So I think this session is going to help you and make you a friend with accounting and some of the financial things. So in this 4 sessions, we will have introduction for the need of proper accounting, because sometimes I have even heard a question that why do we need accounts? So first of all, we will share the thought about why do we really need the proper accounting, then who all can benefit from these sessions. Then every subject has its own terminology, so we will be going for accounting terminology also. Then we have we have some statements which we call, which are very vital and very crucial. Those are known as financial statements. So like a report written by a pathology, or written by this sonography and all, only doctors can read them well. We can also read them, but we cannot make out anything from this. So similar is the financial statements. Whatever terms are mentioned there, we understand. If it comes to the literal meaning of those terms, we can very well understand. There are certain numbers we can understand, but what's the impact of every item, what's the impact of every individual description mentioned there, that we can get to know only when we learn how to read the financial statements. Then we will see practical exposure for using accounts as a tool for decision making, because usually we think that accounting is only a thing, only a record keeping, which is a post-mortem exercise, which is not so. So accounting as a tool for decision making, we will see how we can use it. Then we can have easy solution for the routine problem which all of you might be facing. May it be related to some accounting thing or taxation things or routine operational activities. Then maybe at the end of the session, we can have tips to manage our accounts like a professional. And during these 4 sessions, we will remain connected on the WhatsApp. So whenever you feel that you come across some term which is not understandable to you, you can definitely revert in the group that what does this mean, or like you can keep asking me the questions. So I will be very happy to respond you to all those questions. So we can move to the next point. Yeah, I don't want anyone to sit like this. I want you to read the financial statements happily. Then we come to the schedule part. We have, as we discussed, 4 sessions. Today is the first one, 16th, 23rd and 30th of January. We will be having at the same time, we'll be meeting at the same time. And I want that at the end of every session, all of us are able to move one step ahead. Every session is giving you the confidence to move one step forward, giving you the opportunity to move one step forward. Next slide, please. Yeah. First thing I would like to say, first lesson of the day we can say is to be positive. It's a different thing that nowadays this term has become very, very, like everyone becomes scary if you get to know that somebody is positive. So, but it's not that positivity. We have to be positive, right? So I will just start with a small story. In a country of Japan, there was a king. That king was attacked by another king. So the king which attacked this smaller kingdom was very mighty and very strong. It has manifold more army than this kingdom which he attacked. So the kingdom which was attacked by the another kingdom was like very perturbed that how to manage. All his army men, all his commanders were saying that no, we cannot win. We cannot win because we are so small in numbers. We are very small in our skills. So we can't fight with the persons with the army who have attacked us. So that king got very perturbed that what to do, what not to do. He was not able to decide anything. So he just visited a monk who was living nearby. So he went to that monk's place and he explained him the whole situation. He told him that this is all has happened. So now all my army men have dropped their weapons. So what to do? Can you help me? He said, I can lead your army. That monk, who even doesn't know how to take a sword in his hand, said, I will lead the army. So king was very astonished, but he accepted because he was not left with any other option. So he said, okay, fine, will you come with me? So that monk accompanied the king, and then the whole army got motivated, and that okay, fine, this monk is helping us, so let's go. And everyone in his back of mind was prepared that we have to die, because we have to like the other team will kill us. So people were very low in their morale, very low in their thoughts. So in between, when they were traveling from the kingdom to the battlefield, they came across a temple. So that monk said that when we have decided to go to the battlefield, why not to bow down to the god once? And everyone said, okay, fine. And that monk also said that let us find out whether God also wants us to go to the battlefield or not. So we will ask God whether we will win or we will not win. So everyone nodded that fine, you ask. So that monk took out a coin from his pocket. He just bounced it in the air. Before bouncing, he just loudly said that, oh God, let me know your wish. We are going to fight with such and such big, huge army. So please let us know whether we will win or not. So then he said that if I get the head, I will think that we will presume it that we will win. Otherwise, we will not win. And we will go back to our homes. So he bounced the coin. Everyone like stopped for a while. Even all the breaths were stopped. So when the coin came down, it was all head. So everyone became very happy. They said, now God also wants us to win. So they just proceeded with a full zeal to the battlefield. And to utmost surprise of everyone and even the enemies, they fought so bravely that they were all victorious. Their whole team was victorious, and they were all happy. And when they came back, king asked to the monk, how did you do it? He said, no, I didn't do anything. I even didn't take sword in my hand. I Only your people have done it. Then sir, how come these people have done it? He said, because I told them that God is with them, and be confident, be sure that you will be winning, only just because. And then he showed the coin. The coin was head from both the sides. So it was nobody else who did it. It was no God or no wish or nothing, but only the people did it, and their positivity did it. Their thought that yes, I can. So same, I believe that if every one of us, every non-finance professional thinks about finance, that yes, I can do it. Because what happens when we are studying all our engineering and all, so we get so much into the technical aspects that we see that finance is something very different or something out of the word thing. We cannot do it. But I want to tell you, it is no rocket science. It is nothing. It is very simple. These are very small numbers. These are very small principles. If we go and learn patiently with this, so we can very nicely do it. So one thing, first lesson of the day is, yes, I can do it. Next slide, please. Yeah, just wait. Yeah, please. Uh, Now, what happens when we are running an enterprise or we are heading some good enterprise as a senior professional or senior management person? So, beginning of the month, day one of the month gives you a stress. What for? It gives you the stress that you have to pay your electricity bills, you have to pay your salary bills, you have to pay your utilities, you have to pay lot many things like rent, interest, EMIs, or all odd things we have to pay. And we don't know that how much money we will be having in our next few days. So these thoughts give you sleepless night, and these sleepless nights don't even spare anyone, may it be male, may it be female, may it be panda. Please give pictures. Yeah, so we all sit like this in the beginning of the month. Yeah, please. Even like everywhere we find that first to 10th, everyone is so stressed, we are so stressed. And why we are so stressed? Because we have not planned for. We don't have any tool in our hand which can tell us in advance that how much we will be requiring in the beginning of the next month, and how much is our expenditure. So this all exercises because of this, all stress is because of not having a proper you can say not having proper tools in your hands, not having proper accounts in your hands. Next please. Now what to do? We have to hold this stress. In any case, we have to hold this, because if we don't hold it, we will be in very dying hard situations. So, how to do this? Yeah, please. We have certain tools. Let's hold. We have some tools. So, first of those tools is evaluate your business. Like one thing a small story again I'm recalling. Like in case of accounts, when you hear something about accounting, you get to know profit and loss account, balance sheet, cash flow, this, that, annual report, auditor's statement, auditor's report, right? All those things we come across. So I just want to tell you that all these things cannot be understood in one day. All this is a long process. It all takes years together to understand all this. But yes, certainly, if you take a step, it will be easier for you to go step by step. Like a small story, on one dark night, a young man was sitting along with a small lamp in his hand. He just thought that I have to go several miles. He has a journey of several miles ahead, but he was not able to see even few steps ahead because of that small lamp. So he was wondering that how I will be able to go through this journey. So then, after so much of thought process, he just decided that I will wait, and I will wait till sunrise, because in the sunlight I will be able to see much far, and then I can travel for miles, whatever journey I have to complete. Then suddenly an old man appeared. So old man asked him that, what are you doing here? He said, I'm just sitting, I'm just waiting for sun to rise so that I can start my journey again. So that old man said, but you are holding this lamp. So he said that this lamp is of no use because I can see only a step ahead. So it cannot take me to the journey of miles. So then that old man smiled, and with a sparkle in his eyes, he just said, can you take more than one step at a time? That gentleman just remained silent for a while. Then he said, then he didn't say anything. Then he just handed over that lamp to that old man and then followed him, and both of them went on their journey. So I just want to tell you that we have to take step by step. We have to be patient while learning. You just don't think that I can hand over some magic wand in, say, a span of 20-40 minutes to you, so that you can go back to your office and rotate that wand, and then you can, like, all your problems will be over. No, I cannot promise you any such thing. But yes, certainly, if you are ready to come along few steps with me, you are ready to walk few steps with your business in the friendship of accounting, you can definitely do some magic in your organization. So first step in this process is evaluate your business. So how do we evaluate your business, your own business? That we will see in our next few sessions. And based on that evaluation, we have to set up the targets. Suppose if today I evaluate my business, if I understand my problems, if I am able to really recognize my figures, then based on those figures, I can set up the targets. And based on those targets, I can take the step of decision making. Next, please. I can take a step towards the decision making. Unless I have target, I cannot go for the decision making, because if I'm without, in the absence of targets, if I'm making certain decisions, these are going to prove useless. So we need to be very careful about setting up the targets and about the decision making. Yeah, please continue. And if we are able to achieve this target, then definitely at the end of the day, we will be happy. We can dance, we can enjoy, we can do whatever we want. Next. Yeah, we have a 3E with us. We have 3E tools, we can say. First of them is evaluate your business. Evaluate your business or enterprise. How we can evaluate our business, that we will see in our next sessions. And based on these evaluations, as I told you, that we have to set the targets. Then with the targets, along with the targets, we need to evolve also. What to evolve? Based on evaluation, we have set the targets, and to achieve those targets, we have to evolve the systems. If we have evolved the systems, then in that case, we can continue to implement those systems, and then again we have to evaluate those systems which we have really developed. We can simply say that perpetual monitoring of the performance is the key to success of an enterprise. Means if we are able to, whatever we have evolved, whatever systems we have developed in the course of our working, in the course of our development, so we have to again, by the continuous performance monitoring, we can evaluate those systems again, and we can devise some changes. We can design it accordingly as per our day-to-day needs. As if I take the example of engineering and architecture, like every day we are introducing some new changes. Like when you talk about, when you are working in a factory, when you are working in a like design at a design place, or whenever you are working at a site, so every day you learn something new and you evolve some new systems. Like, no, if we do this way, it will be better. If you do work motion study, you will say, okay, fine, if I do my this activity in this fashion, my work will be reduced, my time consumed will be less. So we always keep on evolving new things. Rather, we can say we can keep on reinventing our things, so that our stress is reduced and our efficiency is improved. So is system with the accounts. Accounts is not exception to this. It is not like that in engineering you keep on inventing every day, but in accounts you will follow those 50 years old practices. No, we cannot do with it. We have to in fact see that how we can utilize our accounting systems, how we can utilize our accounting information for our day-to-day improvements. Next, please. And if we are able to happily do this, then we can reach the third E, that is enjoy. Then we can enjoy the benefits, then we can be happy, and then definitely the happiness quotient, overall happiness quotient of our organization, of our family, our country, it will all go up. I'll just share a small story of a multi-crore group of companies. Some 8-9 years ago, I was invited by one group company. So they shared with me some, like I heard that they are in some problem and they want to share with me. So I went there. So I simply asked them that what is your how your revenue and how all things are going on, how your plants are operating. They had almost 8-10 plants. So they shared with me that our all plants are working. They are working at a very good capacity utilization. I asked whether you are able to sell whatever you are producing, because that is one very common problem, very common difficulty, that I am able to produce, but I am not able to sell. They said no, since they were dealing in products which are essential commodities like oil, petrol, diesel. So all those kind of things they were producing. Rather, they have refineries and all. So they said that since we are dealing in essential commodities, we don't have any problem with the market. I said, then what's the problem? Are you not getting your payments in time? They said, no, whatever we are selling, we are able to get the payment, because most of the products are cash products. So if we are selling sugar, if we are selling power, if we are selling petrol and diesel, we are getting all money in time. So I said, what is the problem? So they simply said that despite of all this, at the end of every day, I don't know how to manage my next day expenditure. I said, what does it mean? He said that every day we see that I require, say, 5 lakhs of cash tomorrow, but I have only 3 lakhs available with me, or I have only 3 lakhs to come to my kitty, going to come to my kitty. So always there is a gap. So that was the biggest problem with them, that every day they are managing that shortfall of 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 5 crore, 3 crore, 2 crore. So like every day that shortfall was increasing, and they were heading towards the, like they were getting traps into the debts. Then they were like doing one or other things to beat that situation, to meet that cash shortage. So then I suggested, okay, if this is the problem, then certainly we can do that. Then we had multiple meetings, then we started working together, we evolved many systems, and by the grace of God, I can say that present day they are 80% problems are almost sorted out, 20% are still remaining. So this is how it happens even with the bigger organizations. If we see Reliance and if we see Adani and all, so they are also having difficulties. But if we can devise some systems through which we can have the, like we can have control over the things, so that will be helpful. Next please. Next slide please. Yeah, please. Yeah, what is the process of evaluation of business? As we just discussed, business is all about the combination of two things. One is the quantitative statements, means the operational data. Either you are producing some product or you are delivering some services. So whatever operations we are doing, whatever operations we are taking up, we have to prepare the quantitative statements, and then we have financial statements. What our financial statements are? Next slide. Next, please. Yeah. Quantitative statements are like production and sales, then orders and services. So these are the operational data, and financial statements are profit and loss account. The major three financial statements, if I name, these are profit and loss account, balance sheet, and cash flow. These three are very important, and we will see these three statements in our next session. Next slide, please. How evaluation helps. Now you will say, even if I evaluate, how it is going to help. So next, please. Yeah, evaluation helps to evolve the systems. We have already discussed this in this thing. Please take it forward. Yeah. When we have systems, it is a basically triangle of systems, setting up of targets and decision makings, and what things which are basically we have to see for our decision making. Next, please. We have revenue, we have profitability, and we have cash flow. These are the three things which we have to monitor, and our whole thing, whole accounting and whole financing process will revolve around these three main things. So we will just see in our next session that how all these we have to read and how we have to really evaluate our things. Next slide, please. Agenda for the next week is reading the financial statements and understanding the terminology. So what I want, that this terminology we will keep on learning during the week, so that at the end of the week when we are having this Zoom session, then we need not to spare time for the understanding the terminology. In between the week, I will be sharing some terms with you. If you come across with some terms which are not understandable to you, so you also please share with us, and then we will see how to read these financial statements. So this is all about today's session. Over to Arvind for question answers and next. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jyotsna ji. This is a very good learning for at least for me, and I'm sure other people also they enjoyed it. And I would like to stress the fact that these sessions are mainly to equip the audience to understand the financial part. Let's like this reading the financial statements and all those things. And the part regarding understanding the terminology, all those kind of things will share in the WhatsApp group. So any question regarding that, please share there. I would like to
Yes.
open the forum for the question answer session. We got about 6.5 minutes with us. And I see one comment from Mr. Kadam in Agile project. I'm not sure in what reference you had written. If you would like to please explain that point. You may
Yes,
unmute yourself.
yes, yes. Thank you very much for such a basic learning. Thank you very much. As I am a project management student, I am somewhat like familiar with this terminologies. But ma'am, as you were talking about that project and the financial statements changing while the projects are changing, so agile projects are the projects who changes frequently. Like project those which changes frequently. In these projects, our finance also changes, ma'am. So as the technology changes
Right.
or something what we required in it. So in this regard, I was talking about that. In this regard, that can be useful.
Okay,
That's it, ma'am. Thank you.
good, good. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Any other input or questions from the audience? Please come forward.
Hello, ma'am. This is Rohit Khandelwal from Raipur. So I'm basically an architect and urban planner. One thing which I wanted to understand clearly, like this is real challenge for us managing our
Yes.
finances and accounts.
Right.
And I almost around weekly I spend an hour or so searching on what tools we can use for managing our account. But
Right.
question is whether we really need to manage or we can offload that entire task to somebody else to manage on our behalf. So what is best on your
Yeah.
understanding? Because you know
Very.
this business very well. So whether we should do it or we should offload it. What is your suggestion?
Yes. Yeah, I'll just come to very, very good question. In fact, it is very relevant question also. See, as far as offloading the work is concerned,
Some
definitely
background,
I don't know.
some
Some
background
background
noise
from
is coming. So
yeah, please mute. Everyone, please mute. Yeah. So it's a good question. Mhm.
नीचे वाले साइड से बर्तन
Who is there? Who is
Please mute yourself.
Ravindra sir, please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ma'am, please go on.
So, yeah. So actually what happens when you have a very, like you being a technical people, it is very difficult for you to understand the accounts and maintain the accounts. But if you are able to read the accounts, because what happens that all debit credit entries can be done only by a proper efficient accountant. But how to read those statements, like whatever P&L account or balance sheet is coming in front of you, how to read it and how to utilize it for your decision making, for how those documents you can use as a tool for decision making, or whether to take some order or not to take some order, or whether to sell this product at this rate or not, or what to quote for a particular project. For all these informations, you need to understand the accounts well, because the view of your business only you can have. Your accountant cannot have the view of your business. He can give you the data. He is not trained, he is not technically qualified to understand your business, that what will be the requirement, but he can definitely supply you the data. But which data you want to ask him, for that purpose you need to understand the basic accounting. I will not suggest any technocrat to do his or her accounting at his own, but I will definitely suggest everyone to understand the account so that you can utilize the figures properly. in the light of those figures, you can take your decisions.
Yeah, I
I
guess
hope I
what
am clear.
the point which you're trying to make here is
Hmm.
that we don't need to do our own accounting and all
Yes.
that stuff, become an accounting expert,
Yes.
but at least we should have an ability to read those financial statements and withdraw some kind of conclusions,
Right.
and maybe some kind of, the projections or whatever, those kind of things, right?
Right. Very true.
Okay.
Very true.
And ma'am, we only got 2 minutes now. So I guess you already talked about the next agenda.
Yes.
And I would just like to emphasize the purpose of this series. This is a roadmap, which I'll keep on reminding our audience that what is this series about. There will be 4 sessions. This is the first session today. Every Saturday, 10 a.m. Indian Standard Time, we will have these sessions for the next 4 weeks. So that's it. Any other point from audience or ma'am you want to add?
I think it's enough. And if anyone has question, they can certainly come back in our WhatsApp group. So we will try to resolve as much as possible. So I think we can.
So for now, if no question, then I would like to stop the session. Thank you very much for your presence. We really
Thank you,
appreciate this.
everyone. Yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
See
Thank
you
you, sir.
Have a
next
nice
week.
weekend.